Welcome back to the Living Banter Podcast. Let's go. You guys are in for such a treat. My name is Caden and
I'm James. And
yeah, miss, come on. Just welcome, We changed the name for a bit of a rebrand. Everyone likes a new rebrand. It's all good. We're going to get into something really good today. A good topic. So today.
A good topic today.
And it's called Childhood Stories.
Yes.
That we have experienced in our childhood. This is going to be crazy, James. I have some mental ones, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I've heard some of your childhood. It is good. It is good, bro.
Yours too. That was nuts. The one story you told me. Yeah, but we're going to get into that now. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it for them yet.
We don't want to spoil it just yet. So, would you like to go first this time?
Yeah, guys, stay tuned. I'm about to go first. And we're going to have so much more after this, Also some good topics to come on in our later episodes. But I'm going to start. So, I have so much. It's hard for me to choose. But from the one I chose, I was choosing to start with the day that me, my friends, and my cousins attempted to sleep on the mountain, James.
Ooh.
Yes, the whole idea was to see the sunset and the sunrise. I mean, who doesn't love a good sunset?
Yeah.
If you don't love a good sunset, you probably don't exist because everyone loves a good sunset,
Yeah.
And the thing is, so we hiked up this mountain and boom, we're getting there late at night. I think we got there like 8 or so, or actually 7. And we just chilled up there when we hiked. It was a quick hike. Because we like a bit veteran at hike, so to say.
Yeah.
Well, not veteran, but way more than intermediate. We've been hiking for a while. And we get up to this mountain and we're just chilling there till late at night. It's like 10 o'clock at night, going on 11. We have our tent set up, everything set up. We're going to sleep here overnight. The problem is we did not tell our parents about it. We didn't tell anyone else but each other about it. So we are up there 11 o'clock. I just said I'm sleeping by my cousin's house. And my friend said he's sleeping by me. So everyone was just making up their own stuff. And we are up there probably 10:30. And we get a call from my one cousin because he messed up the plans who wasn't with us. He went down. He didn't want to sleep on the mountain with us. So he went down and that's when the problem started. His parents called my mom. I thought you're going to drop this cousin and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, they're calling me and my cousin like, where are you guys? Why are you not here? Why not here? And we're like, oh shucks, man. Then they freaking found out we're on the mountain. We had to say, okay, yes, we're going to be coming down. But it's like 10:30 at night. It's pitch black. We're on top of a mountain. No one else is on the mountain. We're the only people there. And so they now calling the mountain rescue and the rangers and stuff like that. And then we're like, okay, fudge, we have to go down the mountain. And so we go down this mountain 10:30 at night, probably later. Because we were sorted. I was watching movies in the tent. It was going to be an absolute treat, bro. And then as we're going down, we just hear this bakkie coming up with all this sirens and stuff. And it's not the Lone Ranger. What am I saying? The Mountain Ranger. The Lone Ranger. The Mountain Ranger comes up and he's like, what are you guys doing here? Like, you're not supposed to be here. Do you know it's a 2,000 rand fine each for you guys who are here late at night if you're trying to sleep on the mountain? We're like, oh, sorry, no, we are just checking out. He's like, what you doing with that tenting equipment? Do you know I can find you guys 2,000 rand each? He didn't end up finding us, but that wasn't even the guy that our parents called. That guy, he just said people in the public saw torches at the top of the mountain and called him to go up there. That was the first problem. We shouldn't have put our torches on late at night because it's pitch black. You can see that from a mile away.
Yeah.
So we go down. He doesn't even give us a lift down to the bottom of the mountain. We had to hike down, but we do it anyway. And so literally, as we're getting down, there our moms are coming back up with the actual mountain rescue people they called. So we were so lucky. Just as we got down, they were coming up and didn't have to get another bit of mess up there. So yeah, we tried to sleep on the mountain. Didn't work. Didn't get to see the sunrise. It was quite cool.
Oh well.
Got like 3 sets of mountain ranges. It was nuts.
That is nuts. Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy
but
stuff.
Also good.
Yeah. All right.
What do you have for us, James?
I have
Let's
a fun
go.
story. I have a fun
Oh,
story.
come on. Tell
So,
us.
when I was quite a bit younger, I don't know
Yeah.
how old, probably like 5, 6, maybe younger, maybe a little bit older, but around there, still in the single digits. My family and I, we decided to go camping at a caravan park that was kind of like on a farm. It was nice and
Oh, nice.
misty, and I don't know, I really
Vibe.
liked the place. And every morning my mom would make me Marmite soldiers. And yes,
Oh,
I do
no.
like Marmite. I do like
You know,
Marmite.
I hate Marmite. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I can't. Oh,
Yeah.
that is not good.
And for those who like Marmite, you know there's a difference between Marmite and Bovril. You know the difference.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Ye-
But yeah, that stuff aside, so every morning I would have these Marmite soldiers made by my mom, just a nice piece of toast cut up, and I would go and I would sit on the outside. There was some steps down from our caravan. I would sit on those steps or stand just by the steps, and I would eat the soldiers. One day,
Oh,
I was
no.
eating my soldiers, and this little thing
Yes.
decides to come up to me, and it was a goose. Now, I like
Oh.
geese. I very much like geese.
I don't. I've been chased for a few. Yeah.
And this goose, I was going to say hi to it, but you know what the goose did? It
What?
took my soldiers.
Soldier!
Yeet. Just nyum.
You just completely knobbed your soldiers, bro.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
And the thing is, I know I was still like
What?
very young and whatever, but I just stood there like I had an empty plate and I saw these goose waddling off away with my soldiers.
It
I
is
just
boom
stood
gang
there.
your soldiers.
Yeah, I was just standing there with an empty plate, completely
Shocking.
shocked.
Absolutely shocking.
And looking back at it,
Oh,
it was just so funny.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, I like geese now. I definitely very much like geese. Because I remember we had this summer camp thing that we went on, and there was this whole flock of geese. And I decided to be an idiot. I walked up to them and I was like, "My people!" And they all turned and looked at me. At that moment,
And
I
they're
realized,
like, "Who are you?"
Who are you? At that moment,
Who
I
are
realized
you?
I should
Get away.
probably walk away slowly before they come for me.
Those stuff are hectic.
Yeah, they're very good guard dogs.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, they are
I don't
very
like
good
it.
guard dogs. But yeah, that's the story
100%.
of geese.
Oh no.
Hyonk,
Speaking
hyonk.
of geese, I was so my grandparents have a holiday place in Hermanus, and we'd go there every once in a while. And walking distance from there is the beach, and we love this beach. It's really cool. But me and my cousins, again with the cousins, we quite gnarly, to be honest. Like, we bonkers, bro. We always psyched. And it's always like, who can do this, who can do that. And besides that, we're just swimming super far in the ocean. And we're just like enjoying ourselves. It's like a not well-known beach. It's not a public beach. So we're just like swimming there. There's no lifeguards. And we're swimming far in the ocean, just enjoying the waves, going under, duck diving with ourselves, just enjoying the waves. Boom, boom, pow. Next thing I know, bro, I'm so far in the ocean, like my feet is not touching the ground. And I'm like 10 or so. I'm a okay swimmer. My cousins are like quite good, I'm decent. Next thing I know, literally my feet is off the ground. And when that big waves come, bro, the current just wrecks you. It like pulls you in. You are gonna go over the falls. You're just gonna be sucked out into the ocean.
Madness.
And this is what's happening now. So I'm 10 years old and I literally getting like sucked out in the ocean. Literally my feet is off the sand. Like I can't stand. I'm just like swimming and I'm like, oh shucks, what do I do now? Luckily, I had my boogie board.
Ooh.
So I was still like floating on that, but it's still like pretty scary because no one was around me. Like quite far down was my cousins, but I was the only one that far. And when you can get really thrown so far back in the ocean, like it gets crazy. And I wouldn't have came back, but the boogie board saved my life, James. So it was this one moment I was like, you know what? if I don't catch this major wave coming right now, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna drown because these waves are just gonna take me so far down. And I wasn't freaking out too much because I was like, I didn't even understand what was happening. It just happened so fast. So I see this major wave and I'm like, oh shucks, I have to take this or I'm gonna die. And so I didn't even know how to boogie board that well, but I just had it because it was super fun, like doing nonsense with it. But I took this boogie board and I cowabunged the wave, literally hit the wave. And I was going so fast on that wave that the sand was shooting everywhere. Like, still when I went onto shore, just past everyone like coming into the beach. No one even knew it happened. No one was like, oh, where's Caden? Or, save that guy. No, I was just at the back, in the back line, alone with the boogie board. Luckily, I'm okay. I am here today to do the Living Banter podcast, but I almost died. Almost died. Praise God for the boogie board.
Yeah,
that was a good one, bro. Mental.
Yeah.
It could have ended badly.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sure.
So I guess it's about time I tell the story of how I almost died.
Ooh, yes.
We both have stories about how we almost died.
Yep. Yes, we do.
Yeah. So, the story is quite a long one, so I'm gonna just dive straight into it.
Tell us.
So when I was 14 years old, I decided I was gonna train up and do a triathlon. Now, I had never really like massively trained for something, you know. And especially not something where you would run the whole time. Because the thing is, I was doing a triathlon with two other of my friends. One was doing the cycling, one the swimming.
Yeah.
And then there was me who decided, you know what, I'm going to do the running. I already was in hockey, so like running wasn't too much of a big thing for me. So I decided to just, train a little bit extra every day, do a run. And I had to do a 5-kilometer run, right?
Whew.
And
that's cool.
Yeah. So what I did for this run, I just ran around wherever I was. I would, like run around the block a few times, run quite some distances. And eventually the day came, I ran my 5 kilometers in just under half an hour, which was really good for me. I'd never,
for 14, that's good.
Yeah.
Nuts.
For just under half an hour. I was totally dead. And I went to go sleep over by a friend of mine. And I woke up the next day and I was sick. Horrifically sick. I was throwing up. I could barely do anything. So I went.
That's the worst.
Yeah. So I went home and I just lay in bed. And I woke up the next morning and I was out of it. I was.
Oh man.
I had a migraine on steroids. Let's put it like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
A migraine's bad by itself.
Yeah, a migraine is bad by itself. So it was basically so bad. Like, how in like horror movies and just movies in general, when like the walls start like twisting and weird stuff.
Ooh. Oh,
like I was trying to walk towards the toilet and like that's what it felt like. Like the walls felt like they were twisting. I was just like the room was spinning. And basically it was like 3 a.m. in the morning and my parents found me throwing up and they rushed me to hospital. Turns out I had meningitis.
Oh my goodness, James.
Yeah, we went to the doctor like when I was sick, and she was like, "You might have meningitis, but it might just be a migraine." And it turned out to be full-blown viral meningitis, and it was probably caused from like all the stress I was putting my body under, because I wasn't used to that sort of like extreme punishment day in day out the whole time, just running and running and running. And
it was new.
Yeah, it was new to me, and the physical stress like manifested into viral meningitis. So basically, for those of you who don't know what meningitis is, it's basically when like the lining around your brain swells up due to some sort of pressure.
Pretty gnarly.
So what that pressure for me was the pressure of like my spinal fluid. So the spinal fluid had kind of like built up in a sort of way and had like caused quite a bit of pressure on my brain, causing me to throw up and all that. So what happened was they had to go for something called a lumbar puncture, where they take some spinal fluid. Problem is it was very early in the morning and there was no neurosurgeon on call, and he was only available like after 8 o'clock. And they said,
crazy.
And they said, you're either going to have to wait for him to get in at 8 o'clock, or we're going to have to do this now. So they did it then,
You.
but the problem is they couldn't get like the spinal fluid the first time they tried. So how they do this is they bend you kind of over, and then they shove the thing inside like your spine, like you would have when they numb like your waist downwards.
Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's just so bad.
And so the first time it didn't work. Like I was already like starting to go grey. I had a little bit of local numbing, but you know, I was glad they didn't. I was glad they didn't show me the needle, because it is like looking at it afterwards. Like looking at the like pictures of it afterwards, it is a big needle. It is a really big needle. I mean, obviously, you have to get into like
large needle.
Yeah,
pretty large.
So they had to pull it out and put it back in. Second time they got the spinal fluid, I felt a lot better, and they put me on morphine. Yeah, for the next 3 days, I stayed in hospital on a morphine drip, just trying to recover and all that. And the last thing I remember from that is like going home, and then like one other thing. So like I was, for the time that I was on like opioids, because I had to be for like pain meds and just to try and like.
That is crazy. Opioids is mental, bro.
It is really mental, and like I could barely deal with light. I couldn't deal with light. I was just, I was horrifically sick for a very long time, and it knocked my entire system out of whack. And I still passed the grade that I was in, though. I was lucky. I was able to pass the grade that I was in. I managed to. My physical health hasn't ever really gotten back to that point where I was. But like it was really, really intense trying to deal with all that. And that's kind of the story of how I pretty much almost died from meningitis. It was it was a mad time. There's a lot more in the story that haven't really unpacked, but like it was a very intense time. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of
that must be super intense, bro.
Yeah, but I am still quite susceptible to migraines and stuff like that, which is awesome. Yeah.
But I haven't been to hospital that much. I've only been to hospital when I fractured my wrist, and obviously when I go visit people. But that's nuts, James. But you know what? I have a funny story to lighten the mood.
Oh yeah, let's lighten the mood, because that was a bit intense. Let's hear this fun story.
Me and my other cousins are always used to do mental stuff with the family members. I love it, bro. Yeah. Another set. So they stay with us, and this neighbor of ours, they went away on holiday, and we're really close to them. We used to go visit them, play games with them at a young age. It was really cool. So they were on holiday, and we like, free house, let's go.
Yes.
We jump over our home, and we go onto their property, which is don't do that. That's illegal.
Don't do that. That is very.
We didn't know that. We didn't care.
Yeah.
And so we go to their house, and we playing hide and seek there, doing dumb things, just playing in their massive yard. They had such a nice house, and we just like chilling there. Next thing you know, we were like playing hide and seek, and we look up across the road. There's this other big double story, and the guy standing on the balcony, like looking at us. You can smell the strictness from across the road. Like he just didn't look like a nice guy at all.
Oh no.
And every time we see him, we like duck. We're like, oh shucks, can you guys see him? And they're like, yeah. So every time we saw him, or when we were in the open, we'd hide quickly. And then like dodge it and try and make him not see us. But he could see us because he's standing from like a vantage point. And the next thing, we're like, okay, let's just go home. I don't want to be spotted by this guy. We never know what's going to happen. And so we went home and it was chilled for that day. The next day or so, when the neighbors came, they found out because obviously the guy told them. Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness, we're so close to them. And apparently they were mad with us. My mom said that I had to go alone and go apologize. So my friend came over, so I'm like, bro, please come with me. I need the support emotionally, physically, everywhere. I just need the support. Just come with me. And so as I was gonna go to them, they come to us. They come to our house and they just wanted to speak about it. Or the dad comes, which wasn't like the nicest of their family, and he's like, "Yo, no, I know what you guys did, blah 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 blah," and we're like, "Oh, so sorry, sir. We didn't mean to do that. We're just having fun. Sorry about that." And he's like, "Well, you're lucky that guy didn't take it into major like other things, because he was gonna call ADT and possibly the police and whatever." And we were like, "Oh my goodness!" And I was like, "Bro, if we had to be there for, we weren't there for super long, but if we had to be there for long and like being seen by him before for a longer time, he would have called ADT on us and we would have probably been like taken in and stuff, in major trouble."
Yeah, definitely.
So I would not want ADT on my back, possibly the police or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, we almost got ADT called on us. It was pretty gnarly. Some nut stuff happened in that neighborhood, but that was one of the craziest things. And they didn't like us afterwards. So that relationship was broken, bro. Oh. And always when I see that guy at the double story, I completely like just put my head down and walk past, because I don't want ADT on me, bro. Get out. There's a nut.
Yeah.
Was not a good time in my life.
Yeah. I also have like one story from like my cousin.
Go for it.
Oh,
was this one of your stories that you are gonna tell?
No, it's one that I just got reminded of now.
Go.
So, when I was quite young, I have a cousin of mine who's quite a bit older than me, but we always used to get on. I think it's because we just love video games and all that. We played video games together when we were at his house, and it was really just us having fun.
Vibes.
And he once had firecrackers. He once decided he was going to get firecrackers. I think he was like 14,
I have so much stories with firecrackers.
14, 15, and I was maybe like 6 years old, 6, 7, or 8, somewhere around there.
What a good combination.
Yeah. And what he decided to do was it was like these little firecrackers, like these small ones. I think they were like Black Widows. Those ones.
I know.
And what he did was he decided, okay, we're just gonna like light a few, and my aunt and uncle were fine with that. And it was fine. We were just lighting like a few, pop, pop, pop. And it was in like a park, so it was kind of like whatever. And
it's not okay to do it in the park, but anyway.
Yeah, we did like 1 or 2 in the park, and then they were like, actually, no, that's not such a good idea. Just come inside and you can do it like in the yard. And so we were doing a few here and there. And then it was like, okay, I had to go. We had like a little bit of time left. So it was like, okay, so what he did was he took a whole bunch of them, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And he like twisted the cord and he put it down. And then he's like, okay, now wait here. He goes in, and I'm just sitting there like looking at this thing, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like,
you're like, what is this?
What is he doing? And he comes back with his lighter and an aerosol can.
Oh my goodness.
This guy came back with an aerosol can, but like a deodorant can. It was I think like Playboy or something. It's like, smells nice, and he like sprays it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it does smell pretty nice.
Good old Playboy, yes.
And then we're both like, yeah, it's really nice. And then he goes, it's like, okay, he puts it down, right? And he's like, okay, you're gonna need to like stand behind me.
Stand far back.
Yeah, let's do like stand.
You don't need to lose your legs,
And
bro.
I was like, okay, yeah sure. Because like we both understood, like, you have to be kind of careful with this.
Yes, for sure.
And he took an aerosol can, the flame there, and he lit it that way. But like all I remember hearing is this woof. And then there was
that's a major woof. I did it at school once. Not with firecrackers, but with the aerosol can and a lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got a detention, probably.
And he lit these crackers, but we were only supposed to light one at a time. So then all we start hearing is pop, 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 pop.
Gunshots.
And yeah, after that
That's not.
we were like, okay, bye, and whatever, and we left. I can actually imagine the kind of nonsense.
Bro, that's an
Oh.
explosion.
Yeah, he got into
That is
so
so
much
good.
trouble.
That
He
is
got into so
amazing.
much trouble. But yeah, you do that kind of stuff when you're young. I mean,
You
even
do.
now,
It's
yeah,
too much nonsense. Yeah.
yeah. I miss Guy
That-
Fawkes, you know.
Good times. Guy Fawkes. That's
Guy
good
Fawkes.
times.
Yeah,
I used to, with friends on a campsite, like
Yeah.
at old church camp, what we
Oh,
did
yes.
was not very Christ-like. We took a
Ooh.
few firecrackers and we stuffed them like all over the park, and we put them
Oh,
in
no.
potatoes and in marshmallows and stuff,
Oh no.
and we made it lit, bro. We lighted that firecrackers and boom, flying French fries everywhere. The potatoes were wrecked. It was quite fun. Yeah.
Oh, that is fun.
I've
Oh,
had some major things with fire, like when I was, I think my mom said I don't remember this at all. Probably I passed out. 3 years old or 2 years old. I put my hands on like live coal from a fire, like just from the bribe.
Okay.
Both hands in the fire, like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Bah. Like probably thinking it's toys and something. Both hands like flat on the coal.
Oh
And-
no.
But I was shouting my freaking vocal cords out and
Ah.
or a doctor or whatever. Both
That is
hands like
nasty.
hot coal, fresh fire coal.
Oh,
That
that is
stuff, bro. I don't remember that at all.
Ugh.
But a lot of my family members, they're telling me about it, and I'm like, I don't remember at all, which
Oh,
is
that
quite
is-
crazy.
That is an
Yeah.
interesting time.
I have so many other stories, but like that happened,
Yeah.
but I can't even remember. And some is just too long.
Yeah.
Some is just it's too long. I've been chased by
Yeah.
like at least 6 dogs in my lifetime.
Oh, lovely.
That's a story. Each story, bro. Through
Yeah.
that dogs, not good. Not happy about the results as
Oh,
well.
so you're now a cat person.
I am a cat person. That is true. I love dogs, just not big dogs.
Okay.
Luckily, none of the 5 or 6 dogs caught me ever.
Okay, good lad.
Got really close.
Got
Got really bad. But I was protected. Yeah,
You were lucky
Yeah.
there. You were very lucky,
lucky.
there.
so lucky.
Yeah.
That's nuts stuff. Do you have anything else?
I had
We're
one
gonna
that
wrap
just-
up this bad boy.
Yeah. I think we can wrap it up now. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun. Just
That
sharing
was
a few,
really
like,
fun.
few stories here and there.
Yeah. Guys, these Zoom
Yeah.
calls are just for you to get to know me and James a bit more. It's more interactive. We're posting twice a week now, every Thursday and Saturday. And the
Yeah.
Living Banter Podcast, we're making moves. We're getting great guests coming on. We're going to have some awesome topics coming about. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe to this video. It seems like 50% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed, which is not Gucci, not Louis, not Versace. So please make sure to subscribe. We appreciate the support so much. We love you
Yeah.
guys so much.
We love you guys.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
We always so keen. We love to interact with you guys. It's
Yeah,
the people's
definitely.
podcast, you know. For
Yep.
the people, by the people. Let's
There
go.
we go. Let's go.
Come
Yeah.
on, living our best podcast life.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We love you all. Cheers.
Take it easy, fam. Peace.
Peace.